fire my lawyer? The short answer here is absolutely yes. But as usual, I'm explaining general principles around corporate and transactional work. If you are in the midst of litigation, you are potentially going to need to notify the court, file a formal notice of substitution of counsel, and consider other factors that are out of scope of this video series. Now, this is a serious decision, so please keep in mind the following. Engagement letter review. First, you should review your engagement letter for additional details about the specifics of your situation. For example, did you prepay for any legal services, or does the engagement letter indicate that a portion of the retainer deposit was non-refundable? You should be prepared that, upon firing your attorney, those dollars might not be recoverable. Get current on your bills. Similarly, you should be prepared to pay the attorney for work that has already been completed prior to termination. Now, there's some nuance around this, especially if the reason for termination is because you've determined that the attorney is incompetent or they provided the work too late. For example, you've set a hard deadline and they agreed to it, and now it's after the fact. But as a general rule, you're going to need to pay. Transferring your files. Your attorney is required to appropriately transition your files to new counsel. If you are delinquent on payments, though, some jurisdictions will allow your attorney to withhold their work product until you get current on your bills. Again, you're going to want to talk with your local lawyer about your specific circumstances, but generally, you should expect to pay for the attorney's work product and also potentially some reasonable charges for transition services. Written notification. Once you've made up your mind, I suggest that you notify your attorney promptly in writing and by phone so that there is a time and date stamped record of when you've directed the lawyer to cease work on your matter. This doesn't need to be a protracted or emotional process. You should just unambiguously inform them of the termination of services, direct them to cease all work, and develop a plan to square up your bills and transition to new counsel. For record-keeping purposes, it may be prudent to specify why you are dissatisfied to the point that you decided to terminate them. Finally, I want to be very clear that you do not need to get your current lawyer's permission to speak with potential new counsel or to get feedback from another lawyer about any provision in the engagement letter that purports to trap you in your current relationship with a current lawyer. Any lawyer claiming otherwise is almost always going to be totally out of line. Now, firing your lawyer shouldn't be taken lightly, but this is a service profession and you have every right to receive legal services from somebody who meets your needs. Business owners, have you ever had to fire your attorney? Without sharing anything private or confidential, I'd love to hear about what happened in the comments.